All right. Are we live? Yes, there we go. I was waiting. I'm looking. I'm like, it says you're live, but then I don't see nothing happening. So, good evening. Good evening. Good evening. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys have all had a good week. It is Friday already. I'm like, it's the days are just they're just jamming by. It's absolutely crazy. It's not a bad thing, but it's just they're still. It's like holy crap. So, anyway, ah, good to see everybody here. I see Janet's in here, DJ's in the house. We got Carol Princess here. Uh, so there's Larry, Michigan Lifestyle. Of course, JJ, Peaches Rambo. So hey everybody, I hope, like I said again, I hope everybody's had a good week. And here we are on Friday. A lot of interesting things going on. It is unbelievable. I mean, there's so much information that is being put out. There's Delbert's in the house. Gloria, Susie Q. So I don't know. I'll tell you, it is amazing, and it's like we're inundated with so much BS. It is ridiculous, to be honest with you. It's unbelievable. All right, so before we jump into anything, I would like to remind everyone that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. And so I do appreciate that. Also, again, it really makes a big difference with the algorithms. And so I appreciate that as well. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm losing my mind. Hold on. Let me restart that. Oh my God, what am I talking about? Like, what is Prepper's one is not awake yet. Took a quick power nap, and I'm like, my brain is not working. So I'll try that again. Family friendly oriented channel. Please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here because we are not going to we're not going to have it. So it's nothing to do with the algorithm. Man, that was like all of a sudden my brain. I'm so used to saying something else, and I'm like my brain just went into autopilot for a moment. Uh, wow. All right, man. All right, let me do this. Let me get a drink first. Man, so yeah, I can't believe those solar flares managed to pick on 18. We're gonna get into all that in a second, Joan, because the information that we're being given. I love that. We're definitely gonna get into that in just a moment. I just yeah. There's so we're gonna talking about the uptick in cyber attacks that are going on around the country and everything like that. And what does it mean for us, and how will it affect you? You know. So we just had AT&T say, well, there was a couple things that were said. So first of all, it was like, oh no, it's not a cyber attack that happened. You know, even though it primarily affected AT&T. I know that there's some Verizon wire Verizon customers and were affected as well. So that's where I take things into question with a lot of what's being said. Um, so there was the initial thing was, oh well, it's because of the solar flares coming off the sun that's causing communication disruptions. Well, if it was solar flares coming off the sun, and this is my take, right? Wouldn't it be more widespread? Wouldn't it's not like the solar flares go, hey, let's focus on AT&T and mess with them. Then AT&T comes out and says, nope, wasn't solar flares. They said it was a glitch in their system. They were doing an upload of like a maintenance thing, and there ended up being a problem, and that's where it came from. So that's their latest reasoning of why there was this outages and stuff like that. Now, there is speculation that it was a cyber attack on that network. Now, the reality, in my opinion, would be this: if it was going to be a maintenance thing, they would have said, hey, listen, there's this maintenance thing coming up. There might be some glitches in the system, so just so everybody's aware. That's normally what they do when they're doing some kind of an upgrade. Would they ever admit that their system had been hacked and it was a cyber attack? Well, where would the confidence be in the system if that was the case? Where would the confidence be in in AT&T if that was the case, right? So, will we ever get a straight answer in that situation? Most likely not. Most likely not. Okay. But so the next question would be, right? So what was the other issues that were going on? The other issues were going on with the pharmacies where they were, with orders and stuff like that with their computer systems. Ed, my brother-in-law, is still having problems with his cell phone ATT. Oh wow, okay. Thank you, Delbert. Thanks for letting us know that. Um, there was also issues going on with the pharmacies having problems, with their orders and everything like that. And so I don't know, maybe they were upgrading their systems too. You never know, right? Solar flares, could solar flares be something that would affect things? They could be. And there's no doubt that solar flares can have an effect. But solar flares are not going, hey, you know what? Let's pick on these guys and leave everybody else alone and not cause any problems on their networks and stuff like that. It doesn't work like that. Solar flares don't give a crap. When solar flares come in and they're going to disrupt things, they're going to disrupt everything. So for people to think, oh yeah, well that's the cause of it because it was that. It wouldn't just affect AT&T folks. It would affect all kinds of things. And so, with the pharmacies having, yeah, solar flares selectively picking a certain cities, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're going to just focus on this spot or that spot, not everywhere else. So I have a hard time believing that solar flares at this point because it wasn't a large thing in a large area. It just that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. But now, do cyber attacks seem like a more realistic expectation of things? It would seem so. I'm not saying it was, and I'm not saying it wasn't. So, let me be clear about that so they don't hammer me for spreading misinformation. But when, things are going on and things are happening, you know, it's curious that all of a sudden now we're having these issues with people trying to get the prescriptions out, everything like that. We are too reliant. Um, and I was told that I wouldn't be able to get my prescriptions filled until possibly Monday or Tuesday of next week. Carol Prince said. All right, Carol, thank you for sharing that info with us. You know, could it be probing exercises? Could it be tests and that type of stuff? It could be, or it could be that they're trying to take things down. The system is not invulnerable. The system's out there. We are way too reliant on the system, meaning the electrical grid and all of our stuff. If you guys go, I want you to think about this. Go to a grocery store. How are things rung up now? Right? How are things rung up? It's on a scanner. There is no more they're typing stuff in and doing it that way. It's all scanned. So they got the barcode thing, on the back. Like here, here's an example, right? You got your barcode on your back of your product. So what they do is they take that barcode and they run that across um, your, the scanner, and that's how they're ringing stuff up now. There is no price tag on here other than like when you go into the store and you're looking at the shelf and it said, like Walmart, right? Green tea, 88 cents a can. So it says it there. You see it's 88 cents a can, but it's not on the product itself. So when you go up to the register and they're ringing it up, you know, you should probably be paying attention to making sure that you're paying what you think you're paying for, because mistakes do happen. All right. But there is no backup system in place if there's a power outage. If there's a power outage, Walmart and all those other places are probably going to just shut down like everywhere else would, because they won't be able to process or take people's money. The registers won't open because it's all automatic. It's all through the computer system. So the computer systems are running the show basically. And so it's like, at I self checkout and I ain't seen a human in 3 years. Oh my God, that's funny. Try not ringing something up, Larry, and see what happens. It's all on camera too. It's all on camera. So, but there's a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, there's I don't know if you guys saw this, and yeah, sorry about the AT&T outage. I hit the wrong breaker. Yeah, it doesn't add up and it doesn't make sense. But again, they are going to. There's a lot of hello. Yes, thank you. There's a lot of stuff going on that we're never going to hear about, cyber attacks and stuff like that, because they don't want to scare you. They don't want you to be like, oh my God, how vulnerable is our system? You know, they don't want you to know that. And it's very vulnerable, folks. I mean, it's very, very vulnerable. I actually had somebody the other day ask me, what do you think is the most likely thing to happen in this country? And folks, I've been number one. My number one thing for quite a while has been the same exact thing, a grid down situation. Because a grid down situation in this country would be an absolute nightmare. A nightmare. Because we're not ready for it. Absolutely. Most people are not ready for it. You know, if like I said, the grid goes down, how are you pumping your gas? How are you doing anything? So, yeah, cleaning my beard for free. Well, just getting whatever snacks that were left behind in there. So, but yeah, I mean that's the most plausible thing that would happen. I mean, there's so many other things or scenarios that could play out, but that's a big one. That's a big one because that and so here's the best question that I would have for anybody. What's our government doing to make sure that our system, our electrical system, is safe, upgraded, and hardened? What are they doing? Nothing. They're not doing anything. They do band-aids on things. If there's issues, they do band-aid fixes. They're not taking care of stuff. They're not taking it seriously, I guess would be the right word. Um, so it's there waiting to happen. And when it happens, then everybody's gonna be like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. But a lot of people have seen it coming for a long, long time. It is our Achilles heel. No doubt about it. No doubt about it in my mind. That's our Achilles heel. Hey, Ed, I have a box of 22 shells with no barcode and has a price sticker on it. Well, you probably bought that, Delbert, a long time ago. Probably bought that a long time ago. Again, guys, any questions or anything you want to stand out for me? All cap locks. Ed, there's another balloon again. Oh, really? Water balloon or weather balloon spotted over Colorado just 45 minutes ago. Well, I don't know if you guys saw this. We just approved another arms deal with Taiwan. Okay, and it amazes me. So China, they said China gave a very stern warning to the United States about selling arms to Taiwan. Uh, Taiwan has never been ruled by China. Okay, but China says, well, it's ours, and we're taking it back one way or another. I love that. I absolutely love that. So spy balloon part happening now. Okay. I wonder how long they're going to wait before they take this one down. That'll be a curious thing, right? Yeah, there's yeah, they just warned us about, selling arms to Taiwan and all this type of stuff. I mean, there's a huge game going on, a huge game. And remember what I said, guys. Remember what I said. We sell arms, and I said this in a previous video. We sell arms to 108 different countries. We're the biggest ones, the biggest ones. Barbara France, welcome to being a beginner prepper. Well, thank you, Barbara. Appreciate the support that way. Thank you becoming a member to help support the channel. I appreciate that. But it's absolutely crazy, guys. In that, there's the distraction here, there's distraction there. They don't want you to pay attention to what is going on. And then of course there's always the, you think about, and yet they're trying to disarm our society. Exactly, JJ. Yeah, and see, that's the biggest thing that kills me at all, probably more than anything else, that they want to disarm us. They really want to disarm us. It is amazing. um you know and realistically, we are the reason, average citizens in this country that are armed, right? We're the reason why the United States will never have a ground invasion happen here. As long as we are armed, there will not be a ground invasion in this country. Won't happen because we'll fight back. And they know that. The enemies of this country know that. So they have to have a way to be able to defeat us. And I've said this many, many times, and I'll say it again. The only way that they can defeat us is if they drop that grid and let us eat each other. It's the only way. The only way. Because that's exactly what would happen. And then after we have killed each other all off and done all those type of things, then they could be able to come in because we would be that much weaker. It's the only way they could do it. So it's craziness. It's absolute craziness with everything going on right now. Cyber attacks are happening. You just heard this talk that it was a cyber attack with AT&T. They're backpedaling, saying something completely different. And then you hear with the pharmacies, with the computer problems, then they're saying that that's a cyber attack. That's what's being said on that front. And I haven't really heard anything different that it was another excuse or reason why there was all these issues with that. But cyber attacks are happening all the time. I mean, you guys remember all the different companies that were being hijacked, with their software being hijacked, and then they were, being demanded to pay a ransom, or they wouldn't be able to go back online. Remember the pipeline down south, and I can't remember exactly where it was, but there was a glitch there, and that was a cyber attack. So, there's a lot of things that are being done that, again, you're never going to hear about. And again, it's a lot of it is distractions. Don't pay attention to this while we're doing that, and all those type of things. Craziness. The whole thing is craziness. And like I said, I fully hope that people are not. You have to pay attention to what's going on, because yes, it will affect you. Cyber attacks, absolutely. Like Carol said earlier, they told her she won't be able to get her prescriptions until Monday or Tuesday now, because there's a problem. There's a lot of meds. I know Asif had told me, I had talked with him a few times about it, and there was a lot of meds that you're not able to get right now, that they're not available. You know, I mean, there's a lot of ways that we can be hurt as a country that people don't really pay attention to. Uh, you know, I mean, we are, again, and I know I've said this one before as well, we are the most heavily medicated country in the world. No one comes close to us. We use the majority of the pharmaceutical meds that are made are used right here in the United States, and they're not even made here, of course, because they're all made over in India and China and all that type of stuff in overseas countries. So it's just, if they want to do us harm, there are so many ways that they can do us harm. And, interesting how those so-called immigrants coming in speak perfectly good English. Isn't that, JJ? That is interesting. But again, what can we do, right? What can we do? We can control what we can control. That's it. Um, you know, be as ready as you can be. And when something happens, when the other shoe drops, you don't run around in panic like most people are going to do, like a chicken with your head cut off. You have a game plan, right? So instead of reacting, and that's the biggest key right there, it's the biggest key. Instead of reacting to a situation, we're not ready for every scenario. Nobody is going to be ready for every scenario. That's a fact. What we need to try to be ready for is what we can do about whatever the situation may be. So what do we got? 339 in the chat. We got 140 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that. I Again, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction, the higher it puts us up with YouTube and stuff like that. So I do appreciate that as well. There's a lot of games that go on with YouTube as well. I think I just told you guys the other night in the live stream. I may have, I may not have. But I just got, I did, I know I did. I just had another video taken down. They did not give me a strike on it because the video was actually, well, I was still living in Greece, New York, and it was a video that I made in the basement of my house over there. That's how old the video was, and they were saying that it was medical misinformation, and I love that. It's one of my favorites that they use, and they took it down. Nobody's watching the video anyway, but it's another way that they can squeeze me, right? Because the channel was starting to do well again. I guess it had been long enough since I had had one of those that the channel was starting to do well again. So now they can suppress me once again. So, and again, it's happening to so many channels that it's absolutely ridiculous. But what are you going to do? There's not a freaking thing you can do about it. It's part of the games that are played on YouTube, restricting what we say. How we have to monitor ourselves so we don't say the wrong thing. We have to be very careful how we word things, or if we're talking about a certain topic, we either have to, like, make a gesture, or we have to dance around it in a different way. And it's absolutely ridiculous that we have to do that in a supposedly free country, right? In an area where you have certain backed parties controlling media networks, and if they don't like what you have to say, or if you question the narrative that is being put before you, here's what you need to think, here's what you need to say. And if I come on here and go, hey, wait a minute, hey Ed, my niece is new to your channel, and this is the first time she's been on your live stream. Oh, that's cool. Well, welcome your niece. I'm glad she's here and watching. But again, if they don't like what you're saying, right, they're going to give you a strike, so that way you can't post for a week, can't do a live stream for a week, and that's and if you continue to follow things down a certain path that they don't like, they'll get rid of your channel. And so we have to play these games, on here. And it's unfortunate that we're not able. Yeah, YouTube has become very restrictive. Absolutely, they have, awesome sauce. Absolutely, they have. And it's unfortunate because it shouldn't have to be that way. We should have the right. And it's not, again, if I'm giving an opinion, right? If I'm giving my opinion based on either my own personal experiences and stuff like that. I mean, I've been in the nursing field for over 30 years. So I might know a few things when it comes to nursing. All right. When I talk about different things, with nursing homes and hospitals, and how staff is treated and all that type of stuff, I have never had one time in a comment or an email that was sent to me that somebody said, no, that never happens. I've never seen that happens. I don't know what you're talking about. What you see is nurses and CNAs come on here and they're going, you're exactly right. What you're saying is 100% the truth. Now, they may not like that, you know, And I've had some people that were in management because, I have hammered management pretty hard through the years. They're afraid out of people questioning outside the box or thinking outside the box. Exactly, Brad. Yeah, they don't want you to question. They want you to obey and do as you're told, So, but Ed, farting videos getting millions of views. Maybe you should rip a nice, healthy one. Oh my God, that's too funny. But it's amazing the different stuff that will take off and do great. But heaven forbid that you have a channel that questions things, that doesn't go along with what's perceived narrative that we're told is. If you question that, then well, you're a problem. You're an anti this or you're that or you're a racist because why? Because I have questions and I go that doesn't make sense, and I say, you know, what's going on here? This isn't adding up. This isn't right. But so barely can hear you. YouTube can't get my volume up much. Really, that's crazy. I don't know why that would be an issue, but yeah, why would YouTube let a 30-year medical veteran say medical things out loud? Exactly. Exactly. Nope. And it's so weird. What the weird part is, a lot of the stuff, and I'm not going to get into it, but a lot of the stuff that a lot of us talked about things that were going on with that turned out to be 100% true. Amazing. Amazing. I can hear you fine, Ed. 5 by 5 here. Yeah, maybe it was just his thing. Lisa said, Ed, I have a bad feeling in my gut. It's coming. Oh, I honestly do too. I have been trying to take care of things. A lot of the videos that I've been trying to get out to you guys is just kind of reminder videos. Like I did the video on water, getting water prepared, uh, talking about, you know, um, gardening. I just did a video on the gardening and getting your seeds and all those type of things. I think it's really important that we are stocking up on the things that we need to do and prepare for. I think it's hugely important. So, Ed, did you know that Pelosi is a majority shareholder in YouTube? That I did not know, JJ. No, I did not know that. Um, there is, like I said, there's a lot of money in it. There's a lot of money in it. And once Google took over YouTube, I don't know, have you seen some changes perhaps? And not for the better of the you content creators, you know? Uh crazy. Absolutely crazy. I just saw um a thing also, and they were talking about of course, it was the liberals talking about, well, we shouldn't be, fact checking Joe Biden unless we're questioning everything that Donald Trump says. I'm like, they need to let it go. They're scared to death. They're scared to death that he's going to be reelected. Here's what I thought was funny. You guys remember when Trump was elected and he was running. He was running against Hillary, and they were like, "Oh my God," like Oprah Winfrey, I think was one of them, and there was a bunch of other ones. Oh, if he wins, I'm leaving the country. I'm not staying here. Well, I kept saying, then when he won, I'm like, all right, are they leaving? Good, bye. They never left. Of course, they didn't leave. They have too much influence and power here. So, and like I said, I just talked the other day, and you guys probably saw it too, that the latest poll had Biden up. But so they had Biden winning 49 to 45%, right, to Trump. But Biden's overall approval rating is 38%. So does that make sense that his approval rating is at 38%, but yet almost 50% of the people that they'll vote for him again? I'm not buying it. Okay. Now, who knows if that poll is right either? You know what I mean? So I mean, who are you asking? With all polls are subjective. It's if I'm looking to do a poll and I want a poll to be in my favor, I'm going to target a certain area of people. But I'm thinking that is you know, when it comes to his Biden's rating, his approval rating, I think the majority of the people that are being asked that are basically they've had enough. I think a lot of people have had enough. So yeah, and so many people are make America great again. Oh my God! Well, then, oh, it's just it's so racist. And how is that racist in any way? Oh, I'm sorry. Put America first. Put Americans first. But I don't know. Craziness. The whole thing is absolute craziness. Mary D said, "Hey Ed, glad to catch the live. I moved across country in 23 to be in a remote area. All my preps from years pre-COVID were given away. Now I feel defeated with the prices, but I repeat your model. That's the only thing you can do, Mary. It's the only thing you can do. Slow and steady. Do what you have to do. You know, putting yourself again. Probably the biggest move that you can make is a human being in this current world that we're living in is getting out of certain areas and getting into areas where you have a better chance for survival. Um, More remote is better. You know, getting out of New York was a huge move for me, and no regrets whatsoever about getting out of there. You know, I miss family? Of course, I miss family. You know, but I don't miss the restrictiveness in them trying to tell us what we can and cannot do. The last time I checked, and this is just me, and maybe you know I'm completely out of line with this, but the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed. The Second Amendment doesn't say, well, you can only do this if you have our, meaning the government's, permission to do it. You're only allowed to do this, or you're only allowed to do that. And you look at certain states, like New York would be one of them, you know, when you have to get a pistol permit and they make you jump through hoops to be able to get that pistol permit so that you have their permission to be able to have a gun, number one, right? A pistol. And then they're telling you you can only have a 10-round magazine for any of your weapons, and then you're only allowed to keep 7 rounds in that weapon at any one time. Absolute craziness. I know I talked about this story before. Uh, did they break up? I didn't see that they broke up. No, I haven't saw that they didn't break up. I didn't see that, JJ. Last I saw, he went to Australia to be with her while she's on tour. That's the last I saw. But you know what? Who knows? I don't care either way. I don't care who anybody is sleeping with or dating or any of that. It doesn't make any difference to me. But I what was I was going to say something here. Hold on a second to see if I can remember what I was going to say. Ah, it's all for attention. It seems like it, but there's a lot of stuff going on. I was talking about New York and the restrictiveness. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So I was down here, and we were at actually it was Outback Steakhouse I was at, and there was these guys, and I could hear them talking, and I knew they were from like you know Ireland and the UK and stuff like that, and they were on a trip. They were traveling around the United States, and I got talking with them for a moment, and you know, of course, they noticed right away, you know, you're carrying a gun, right? And so the conversation got steered to that, and they were talking about, you know, they go, how many, you know, what size clip is that and stuff, and I said, oh, I said it's a, you know, 17-round clip, one in the chamber, and stuff like that. And they were saying that if they get caught over there with a gun, for every bullet that you have, it's another year in prison. So they said, with you having a 17 round clip plus one in the chamber, there's 18 years in prison right there. So that's how badly they are restricted and controlled over in the UK, Ireland, and over in that area. That's how badly they're controlled. And that's not that to me. I was like, holy crap, that's amazing, And they were like, flabbergasted that that we're open carrying down here and nobody cares. So Barney Fife would have done a year in prison, right? Exactly. That's funny. So, but please don't say clip, say magazine. You know what I mean. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. But yeah, it's just. But again, you are in certain places, and if you're in certain states, like I said, in New York State, you're only allowed to have 7 rounds in a 10 round magazine. You're not allowed to have a full 10, which is how are they? And again, right? So again, I always go back to this. And so criminals go, oh, well, wait a minute. We're not allowed to do this, so we're not going to do it. No, criminals don't care about gun laws. Criminals are going to do whatever they want to do no matter what. The only thing gun laws does is it restricts law-abiding citizens from being able to protect themselves. That's all it does. So but and then you have the wonderful red flag laws all over the place, and so you know so you will have 2,000 years for the 2,000 round rule. Yeah, right, exactly. I guess if they catch them on you. I just saw there was something. Oh, somebody somebody had gotten arrested, and I don't know. I can't remember who it was or what it was for and stuff like that. And the only thing they talked about, well, when they searched the home, he had a large amount of ammunition, and he had these guns and blah blah blah. So what? Did that person use that in a crime? You know, boy, they sure don't want to stop in and try to do that in a prepper's home. you know. Um, but here's the weird thing. Here. I mean, let's think about this. Um, preppers are being marked as extremists and these terrible, and we're domestic terrorists. Because we keep more than 2 weeks allotment of food in our homes and do all those type of stuff. What I want to hear how many times you've heard about preppers, people that are really into prepping, going out and breaking major laws and shooting up all kinds of towns. Because I'll tell you what, if a prepper goes out and goes off and becomes unhinged and goes crazy, they probably have a tremendous amount of armament, and they could really do some serious damage if they want to. So I believe he was a collector, not for sure. You know what? Michigan lifestyle don't matter if he was a collector or not a collector. He has a God-given right to do whatever he wants to do, as long as he's not doing it to hurt other people. So, game wardens are the only law enforcement agency that do not require a search warrant. Well, that's if they suspect you of taking animals out of season and stuff. Yes. And preppers want to be just like Motel 6 and keep the light on. Yeah, exactly. But my thing is, yeah, the Mormons, right? Wow, the Mormons must be screwed. They keep a year's worth of food at all times. That is what they're told. They are told to keep a year's supply of food at all times, because again, when something goes on, you have to be ready for it. Lamb's like, can I have some of the Rice Krispies? Come on over and have a bowl. I even got the bananas. I'll show you. I just picked up. Like, what did I tell you? With the Rice Krispies, you gotta have bananas, right? So you cut up the bananas and you put them in your Rice Krispies. So I just was at the store the other day and I grabbed some more bananas. I know. I'm sorry. I got up and I moved. I know it. I know. Uh, it just the labels that they try to put on people is amazing to me. It really is, because I just if I decide, and the terms that they'll use, they'll call you a hoarder. You're a hoarder if you're stockpiling food and you're preparing. You're crazy. There's something wrong with you. You're being selfish. I love that. That's one of my favorites. Oh, you're just being selfish. No, if the food is there and it's available, who says what there's a limit of what I can have or what I can buy? You know, I don't eat Rice Krispies. My body's already going snap, crackle, and pop. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. So, hi, what's going on? So, but yeah, it's just okay. You got to go down. Go on. Good girl. Good girl. All right, what do we got? 394 in the chat. We got 198 thumbs up. Again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel, and I thank you ahead of time. Really does make a big, big difference with the algorithm, so I thank you for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well, and I thank you ahead of time. But yeah, it's just, I don't care what labels they want to put on us, and I never will. I'm a big believer in you prepare for the worst and you hope for the best. I don't have a whole lot of faith in mankind. We are the most vicious animal on this planet. We kill because we enjoy killing each other. And I was just talking with somebody the other day, and they were like, as because you're a prepper, are you hoping something happens? And I said, absolutely not. I said, here's the reality, and this is what I try to explain to people. 98% of me says, I hope nothing ever happens because I hope I'm wrong. And then they're like, well, what if you're wrong? That means you've done all this for nothing. And I said, no, you don't understand. If I'm wrong, I have an awesome property that is pretty self sufficient down the road. It's not there yet, but it'll be pretty self sufficient. I can grow my own vegetables, I can raise my own animals, and I can eat from my own bounty that have raised animals wise and grown. And I know where that food came from, and it's not treated in a certain way, that it's treated in a different way, and that I will have that available to me. I said, now there's a 2% part of me that hopes that something happens. And that's strictly, honestly, to be able to go to certain people, ha, I told you so. That's it. But 98% says, I hope nothing ever happens. And I hope me and my group can come down here for years and years and years. And I can hang out with this awesome, like minded people. And, they get their cabins all done and they're tricked out and they're ready to go. And they can come down here for a weekend and we can relax and we can enjoy each other's company and we can talk about the latest things that we're working on and doing and stuff like that. You know, that's what some Full of Hope says Europe is banning gardening. Is that for real? I had not heard that, Full of Hope, and I know you're over there, so I had not heard that. If that's the case, that's insane. That is insane. So, yeah, and have your own target range. Exactly. Well, we will definitely, yeah, we definitely will be doing that as well. But again, it's that freedom, is having that freedom. And World Economic Forum says home gardens are bad. Are you BSing me? I hope you're BSing me. USDA sent letters to animal auctions in Ohio telling them they cannot have rabbits anymore because they are pets, not food. Rabbits are absolutely food. They are absolutely food. That's where all the farmers are protesting. Is that why they're all protesting? I don't know. That's absolutely crazy. My landlady in Germany, whole backyard was a garden and had chickens. Um, Emil says she's telling the truth. Wow, that's craziness. Talk about complete and utter control. And again, at some point, folks, carbon footprint is why they called it bad. Ah, well, too bad. you know, yeah, rabbits are both. Exactly. Exactly. Lamb's Light says my comments aren't showing up. Well, that one did. I'm not restricting anybody. If the only time somebody gets restricted on this channel is if they come in here and act like a jerk, and then my moderators know, they know who to get rid of. They've been doing it long enough, and they know what to look for. But for the most part, as long as you're not being, nasty to other people in the chat, I don't allow. Like I will never allow somebody to come on this channel and bash somebody on another channel. They can say I don't like XYZ channel, and that's fine. That's just a statement. But if they come on and start talking all kinds of crap about somebody else's channel, that's not going to be allowed on this channel. It's just not. So, but I just oh, it is egg count time. Thank you, Larry. I wasn't even paying attention to the time. So let's go ahead and do that, folks. Let's go ahead. We will do the egg count. And so if how many eggs today, and did the white hen lay, yes or no? So I'll let you guys get your answers up there right now, and we will go from there. Give you guys a moment to get your guesses up. Again, I have 6 hens at the moment, so just letting everybody know if anybody's in here that's new that doesn't know how many chickens I have. I have 6 hens and a rooster, and I'm hoping that this spring that some of the girls get broody. That would be an ideal thing to have happen, and we'll see what happens there. So I'll give you guys a moment, a little more, to get your guesses in. All right. We have somebody who is a previous winner has the right answer. And so I think this will be number 2 win for this individual. If you had the same exact guess as Nostradamus with 3 eggs today, and yes, for the white hen, she did lay. So congratulations, Nostradamus. You are the winner. You've won absolutely nothing, but you are happy about it. So that is a good thing. And so congratulations on being, I think that's your second win, if I'm not mistaken. I think it is your second win, if I'm not mistaken. So, but third win. Okay, there you go. I knew you had won before. So, yeah, call 1-800 for insider info. Oh my God, that's funny. But anyway, so yeah, they've been pretty steady. I will give them that. I'm happy with what they're doing. The weather, like I said, the last couple, like right now, I could hear it raining outside now. So, but it is, what are you going to do? It's that time of year. The weather's not always going to be cooperative, but the days are getting longer, and every day that goes by is one day closer to spring. So I am going to continuously, guys, I'm going to continuously encourage you to get your gardens in, get your water situations figured out, get your food figured out, what you have, what do you need to have, what do you think you need to have. Get your preps in order. I'm going to have some more videos coming up. I got another video coming up tomorrow that you'll see. And I'm trying to talk more about the obvious, I think, but maybe everybody's not thinking about it. I don't know, but I'm going to be having some more videos coming up talking about, common sense things. What's your take on the shutdown of Amish farms in Pennsylvania? Again, I think a lot of it comes down to is they, meaning the powers that be, want complete control of what happens. If I'm growing, so an example would be, let's say I'm growing, I got big gardens here, and I got greenhouses, and I'm growing vegetables and producing eggs, and let's say I have a big thing of hens, and I'm producing all fresh eggs, and let's say I start to sell them. Okay, well, first of all, they want to control that. They don't want you to be independent. They don't want you growing healthy things. They don't want you to have, free range chickens or chickens that how they've been raised and how they've been slaughtered and all those type of things. They don't want you to have that. They don't want you to have that choice. They want you to eat what they're giving you. And a lot of the stuff that's being given to us is not healthy. I mean, you look at the processed food, you look at the fast food. A lot of that is not healthy at all. So, did any of your hens in New York get broody? No, that's the weird thing, critter lover. The hens in New York that I had, I never had one of those hens ever get broody, not one time. And I don't know if it was just the breed of the hens that I had up there, but yeah, they just never did. They just never did. So, but like I said, I would like as a human being, as a free thinking individual, if I can grow my own stuff. I know how my animals were raised. They're going to be raised well, and so farm fresh eggs compared to store bought eggs, it's night and day. It is night and day. It tastes different. It looks different. Um, happy chickens are going to give you good quality eggs, and that's my opinion. I mean, but it's different. It's absolutely different, and there's no profit in people being independent for the government, et cetera. Of course, yeah, if they can't make money off of you, they don't like it. They don't like independent power systems because they're not making any money with people like me that live off grid. They don't make any money off of us, and they don't like that. So it's again, to each their own. If you want to be tied in with the system and do all what they say and tell you, go right ahead and do what you got to do. But you're not going to tell me that I have to do the same thing that everybody else is doing because I want to think for myself. See that's dangerous. That's actually dangerous. That I want to think for myself. That I want to grow my own food, raise my own animals, and treat them with respect and dignity. And then if I decide to dispatch them and eat them, that's my choice as well. But I'll know that if I ever got to a point where I needed to get rid of some chickens, okay, then, and if I decide to eat them, I know they've had a good life. I know what they've eaten, and I know where that's all coming from. So those are things that people are not thinking about anymore because it's easy, it's convenient, it's quick to stop, at McDonald's and get a quick meal and stuff like that. When you're gardening, you know, let's think about gardening for a second. You're out in nature, so you're outside, you're breathing, you're not stuck in a building somewhere. All right, you're not in a congested city. You're hopefully outside someplace. You're breathing in fresh air. You're working on your garden. You're watching your stuff. So you're exercising. I mean, heaven forbid, you're because that you're going to exercise. If you have a garden, folks, I will tell you right now, you will be exercising because you got to weed, you got to water, you got to take care of it. You got to watch out for predators and bugs and the whole 9 yards. And it's work. And see, that's why a lot of people don't want to do it because they don't want to work. They don't want to put in the effort or the time and all those type of things. I mean, like I said, here, one of my big obstacles here on this homestead where I'm at is the soil. The soil's crap here. We got maybe, that much topsoil. And maybe if we're lucky, we got, 6 inches of topsoil. And then after that, it's all clay. And you guys have seen the back-breaking clay that we're, dealing with. But to me, if I can live that life like that and have my freedom as much as I possibly can and grow my vegetables and have it coming in and I'm eating those things, that's healthy. That's absolutely healthy. And like I said, again, heaven forbid that we want to think for ourselves because, like I said, again, there's no profit in it for them. The people that want to be in control, that want to have control over every aspect of our lives, and they are slowly eroding and taking away our rights constantly. That's not healthy. That's not good. And people just continue to go, okay, yep, all right, no problem. And at some point, something's going to give. And again, when you have an enemy that wants to see your way of life destroyed, and I'm not talking about prepping, I'm talking about, the United States of America. They want our way of life destroyed because they don't like it. I mean, you look at China. I mean, and I'll use China as a great example. You have somebody speaks up in China and voices their opinion, and goes against what they're told is the way it's going to be. Those people disappear, right? They're taken to internment camps or work camps, and and if you see enough of your friends disappear and go to work camps, you learn to shut your mouth and do as you're told. That's complete and total control, and that's not how life should be. You know, Government was never meant to be this big here in the states. I agree. You're 100% right on that. You're 100% right on that. So, have you tried asphalt bits on the jackhammers? Much bigger bits. Yeah, we're gonna have to look into what we can get. It's got a. We need something that's got a wider. That's going to take a bigger chunk out of things as we go. The one, handheld jackhammer that we have, the one that Jimmy uses the most. That thing eats through stuff, but it's heavy and it's big, so we have to use a smaller jackhammer. It's not like a jack; it's the handheld type. And that other one, I basically do all the. I'm working on the high work with that, and if you guys saw the video on Thursday, Johnson was doing the high work as well. So it's labor intensive. That bunker is a labor intensive project, and it's going to continue to be that way. And we're going to just do the best we can, and we're going to try to get as much of it done as we can, and just continue to go from there. But you know, Food and Drug Administration, eat our food, you'll need our drugs. Oh my God, that's funny. That is funny. So, but again, like I said, you know, I'm a big believer in live and let live. You want to live the way you want to live, I'm fine with it. As long as you're not hurting anybody. There's the key. As long as you're not hurting anybody. I want to live the way I want to live. And that's another reason why they want to go all digital with everything as far as currency. They can't control independent people, doing transactions, cash transactions, where they're not getting a piece of that, for taxes. They don't like that. So if everything is digital, then everything can be controlled. And it still wouldn't be, because people would do stuff, they would barter labor for labor. I think that's what you would end up seeing down the road in that type of a situation. So, like I said, there's a lot to it, but being independent and free as much as you possibly can be, even on a small scale, there is nothing wrong with that. And thinking for yourself, and I could care less, if somebody wants to say, "Oh, you're crazy because you're a prepper." And one of my favorites is when they say, "Oh, well, you're up in the mountains, hiding in the woods, waiting for the end of the world to happen." No, I'm not. You know, no, I'm not. Never have. I still live my life. I still go where I want to go. I still do what I want to do. But here's the weird thing: I have peace. You know, does Jimmy still have his blue foreman helmet? Well, only reason Jimmy was wearing the helmet was because he kept banging his head in the tunnel. That's the only reason he had a helmet on. So he's like, yeah, I kept banging my head, so that's why I got the helmet. He said. So that's why he did that. But again, like I said, it's just people can say whatever they want to say, but I have peace of mind. I love being where I'm at. I mean, I wake up and it's quiet. You hear the birds singing. If there's a breeze, you hear the breeze. You're not hearing nothing but cars constantly, and in traffic, and people screaming at each other and all. I don't miss any of that. I've lived in the cities, folks. I lived in Rochester, New York, for many years when I was younger. I grew up in the country. I moved to the city. From the city, I moved back to suburbia, and then from suburbia, I moved out to the country, and I've never looked back. And You know, the mindset is different. The people are different, and you know, like I said, and one of the biggest things I will tell you, what I love about down here, people mind their own business. If it don't affect them, they're not bothering you, and I think that that's a great thing. You know, um, they're willing to help each other. You know, if I had one of my neighbors needed help with anything, all I got to do is ask me, and if I'm not working on something or doing something, then I'm going to help them if I can. So yeah, Lucky does crow a lot. Actually, he was crowing this afternoon, and Steve and I were out there. We were talking, and Steve turns around. And he goes, "Lucky." He goes, "It's in the middle of the day. You don't have to be crowing right now." So yeah, he definitely lets his presence be known. They'll be knocking on preppers' doors when SHTF. I don't broadcast anything locally. You will have people that'll be looking for a handout. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think that if there is depending on where you are, like if you're in suburbia and they know you're a prepper and they know that you have stuff, I would not be shocked if people came in and said, you know, we're confiscating this for the good of the community, you know, that type of stuff. They're not coming way out in the country and trying to do that stuff. You know, if anybody knows that you have what you have out here, like in these areas, they may come and they may be willing to barter. You know, I think that's would be more. I don't. You would you have some that would come and try to take? You probably would, but it wouldn't end well. You know, and I've said this before, and this is not a tough guy thing again, please. So don't anybody. Oh, you think you're a tough guy? It's nothing to do with that. The last place you're going to want to go in a true SHTF situation and try to take from people would be a prepper compound. That would be a mistake. That's all I'm going to say because it won't end well. You know, those are not the type of people that you want to screw with if the balloon has gone up. And that's just kind of where, you know, that's where I'm coming from with that. And, you know, and if the balloon goes up, folks, and I will tell you, there's no more rules anymore. We've talked about this. We're going to do shout outs in just a moment, but there won't be any rules anymore. There is no rule of law in an SHTF situation. So, whatever we decide to do, whatever justice we decide to enact, there's nobody going to say that you can't do it. There's nobody there to say you can't do it. Now, do I plan on being some kind of dictator, or, you know, enacting my will on other people? No, you know, that's not what it's about. It's about like-minded people coming together, realizing that we have to work together to survive whatever situation is coming, and that's what we're trying to do. That's what we've been trying to do right along, and so that's where we're at. All right, we're going to do some shout outs. We're going to start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead. That is Ryan growing giant vegetables. Definitely check him out and see, you know, what he's doing there. Good channel, and we're getting ready to start with spring, so there'll be a lot more stuff going on. We have Ikican up in Canada, living off grid up there, showing you what he's doing with his life. I think it's really interesting, and you know, that's what he's got a good thing going up there. You have Angry Prepper down in New York City. That is Jason. Jason's a good guy as well. A lot of good information with Jason. I hope Jason can make it out of the cities. And if he can, you know, I've always said Jason would be more than welcome down here, and he knows that. You know, we're more of a secondary location for Jason. You know, he doesn't know if he can get out and what way he would be able to go. But Jason would be an asset to any group. That's my opinion on that one. There is Alaska Granny. There is also Alaska Prepper. That is Rudy. Rudy's a great guy as well. A lot of good information on his channel. We have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two different channels, same guy. Really good information on his channel. He's up in Canada living off grid. Master builder. Unbelievable to watch him build and what he does and stuff like that. Let's see. We have Demcad. Demcad's a good guy as well. A lot of good information. Another guy who talks a talk and walks a walk. He's moved from where he was before to a better location, and he's continuing to do his thing. You have Corporal's Corner. There's Bjorn Hansen. You have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks doing his thing up there. There is Bizarrizza who does the Carrington Chronicles, a very interesting story. Definitely worth the listen to. There is Marfugal News, Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. Adam's a great guy, very down to earth. A lot of good information on his channel out in Seattle. There is Magic Prepper in North Dakota. You have Wrangle Star, that is Cody. Another good guy, a lot of good information on his channel. Definitely worth to listen to over there as well. Let's see. We have Red Poppy Ranch. You have Survival Lily coming at us out of Europe, giving us all the latest information of what's happening over there. There's Kyle's Cabin. Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota doing their thing, living off grid up there. Nice young couple. Let's see, where was I? Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods. Husband and wife team splitting their time between Michigan and Alaska. Good people, a lot of good information with their channels. There is Green Greg's, another good guy. Southern Prepper 1 with his Boots on the Ground series. Definitely worth to listen to. A lot of good information with him. You have Gray Man Prepping. There is Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy have been around for a long time. A lot of good information on their channel as well, and definitely worth to listen to. You have the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Nice young couple down there living off grid and showing you what it takes to do what they're doing down there. There's the Green Dream Project out in Arizona, showing you what it's like to live in the desert and what you need to do to survive to do that. There is Camping with Steve Wallace, doing stealth camping. Really interesting information with him as well, and it's fun to watch him, and it's just kind of an escape, but you can absolutely pick up tips from what he's doing as well. There is Bush Doctor Survival. There is Monkey Works. You have the Needy Homesteader. She has been around for a long time. Good channel. A lot of good information on her channel as well. You have Boss of the Swamp, another master builder. Amazing to watch him build and do what he's doing. You have the Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Diamond is a real smart guy. A lot of good info on his channel, and you can learn a lot if you listen to him. There is Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. She's a straight shooter. She says it like it is, and I think that's really cool. You have City Prepper. There's Lumina Acres. There is Suspicious Observer, who's watching all the information of what's going on with the sun, giving you all those updates and letting you know what's happening there. There is Bear Independent, the Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear going to the Canary Islands of La Palma. Really interesting information with him as well. And when the volcano was going on, he was updating twice a day. So I thought that was pretty neat. You have Mary Greeley News giving you all the latest of what's going on with Yellowstone. That's her baby. She loves all that. And, she keeps us abreast of everything that's going on there. So I like her channel as well. There's Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. Truth Be Told with Tara. And, definitely check her out as well. If you're going to get your weather, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall's a great guy, very passionate about the weather, but he gives back into the community in a huge way when there's a disaster, and I got a lot of respect for that. There is Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand. He presents you with the information and he lets you decide what you want to do with it. I like that. He doesn't tell you what to think. He just gives you the info, and here it is. You make a decision. Let's see. We have Deep South Homestead, another very family-friendly oriented channel. Definitely worth a listen to there as well. You have The Outsider up in Maine. There is Betting on Alaska, who is the son of Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, starting his journey out up in Alaska. 18 years old, make some mistakes, but that's how you learn. But he's willing to try, and I like that. The Fit Farmer. You have Prep Rebel, Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s, and definitely worth to listen to find out what they're doing there. There is the Prepared Mind. We have Pinball Preparedness down in Tennessee, East Tennessee Preparedness, the Economic Ninja, And last but not least, Little House Off Gritty, also down in Tennessee. A lot of good channels out there, guys. A lot of good information. Definitely, check out where you're at, what you can do. There's people put a lot of other good channels in the chat, so definitely check them out as well. I believe we should be supporting each other. I think that that is important that we do that. The more that we do it, the better off we're going to be. One of the things I was going to talk about really quickly too, if you're thinking about moving off grid and you're thinking about moving to a different state, getting out of certain states and moving to a better location, and have more freedoms and stuff like that. One of the biggest things that I would really encourage you to do is whatever county that you're going to move into. Every state has multiple different counties. Excuse me. Whatever county that you're going to move into, find out what the rules are in that county. Do they have building codes? Do you have to get permits? Do you have to do this? Do you have to do that? That's really important, because if you want to be as free as you can be and build what you want to build and not have to worry about, somebody being up your butt for everything that you do, that is a good thing. So you definitely need to know the county that you're moving into, know what the rules are. Certain counties, they don't have any building codes. Other counties are really restrictive. So, if you find that perfect piece of property and you go, oh my God, this is where I want to be, but then you move into that property, you buy it, and that county has really restrictive laws, they're going to restrict you on what you can do, especially if you're putting it out on YouTube, because you're going to have someone that's going to try to rain on your parade. They always do and they always will, because of jealousy or pettiness or whatever the case may be. You're doing something that they don't have the balls to do. They're going to try to get you in trouble. So that's what they do. And so that's all part of it. So you have to be smart about where you're going, know what kind of county you're going into. North Carolina has a lot of restrictions from what I've read. Bummer. Well, I'll tell you what, it depends on where you are at in West Virginia. The county that I am in, they have no building codes. So I like that. Okay. So that's I can build whatever I want to. And, but I'm going to do it. See, there's the difference is I'm not going to slap it together and go, yeah, that's good enough. Whatever we build, we're going to build it to code, whatever codes would be anyway, because we want it to be safe. The guys doing the electrical in their buildings, they're not doing it ramp shot and half aid, if you will. They're going about it the right way to make sure that those buildings are safe, because that's where they're going to be at. They want it done right. So that's a big part of it. And so, but you got to know what the restrictions are, what you can and what you can't do. Like one example would be here, okay, where I'm at, the county I'm at, getting the well put in. I had to get a permit for the well. Big deal. And realistically, why would I have to get a permit to put a well in? Well, they want to make sure that they're going to raise your taxes, because now you have a well, you have a water source. So that's all part of the game that you got to play. Again, it's what you are willing to play and what you're not willing to play. And so, you getting out into the desert in Arizona someplace, you can do whatever you want to do. Nobody cares. So always keep that in mind if you're going to be doing things. The farther out you are from civilization, the less restrictive they are. There's another tip that I will give you. So, anyway, guys, um, let's do this. We are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. Where is everybody from tonight? Let's do that and get that done and see where everybody is from. We got Fayetteville, North Carolina with Carol. Oh, I forgot we are Legion. I am sorry. I should have said that. Omaha, Nebraska with Larry. Jamie in Toledo, Ohio. Troutman, North Carolina with Troy. Leesburg, Florida with Joan. Lori in California. Palaco, Idaho with Janita. West Coast of Florida with Kit. BC, Canada with Janet. Awesome Sauce up in Connecticut. West Virginia, Pappy in West Virginia. We got Critter Lover coming at us out of Virginia. Missouri and the Ozarks with Delbert. Hillsboro, Oregon with Chewy. Central Virginia with Janet. Houston with Bobcat. Eugene, Oregon with Franny, Sacramento, California with Cheryl, Juniper, Florida. We have the River Falls of Minnesota with Deborah, Southwest Ohio with Barbara, Comet Moon in Franklin County, Ohio, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house, Emil coming at us from BC, Canada as well, Charlotte County, Florida with Gloria, West Virginia with Morning Light, East Central Illinois with Ranger, Fort Collins, Colorado with Lisa, Sean the Englishman from Chatham, Ontario, Canada. We got Death Devil coming at us from Texas, outside of Baltimore, Maryland with Texas Rob. So again, all over the place, all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people that are getting ready, that are being prepared. And I think that that is awesome. And like I said, again, if we ever got organized, truly organized, people would definitely not like that. They would definitely do not want us to be organized. We got Codge coming at us at Greenlee County, Arizona. So yeah, we're all over the place, folks, and there's a lot of us out there. Orlando, Florida. Phil from England. Well, Phil, glad to have you here. Thanks for staying up late and joining us tonight, because I know it's late over there. We got Cheryl. Oh, she's. Oh, Lori's saying she's also from Sacramento area. We got Central New York with Village Homestead. We got Byron coming at us from Omaha, Nebraska. Like I said, folks, the way we make a difference now is trying to educate, trying to wake people up. That's the biggest key, I think, right now that we can do. We got Mary coming at us from Ontario, Canada. You know, after an event, we're going to be educators. We got Noodlehead coming at us from Central Kentucky. But trying to teach people then, that's what we will be doing. We will be showing people how to survive, because so many people don't have a clue. They have no idea. And that's scary. That should frighten all of us, to be honest with you. There is a lot of potential victims out there. And, the more prepared we are, the better off we're going to be. But then people are going to see that we're not turning into skeletons like they're turning into skeletons, and they're going to want what we have. That's unfortunate, but that is true. So, anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely awesome job keeping the chat clean. Ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me, I really appreciate you. It means a lot to me what with what you're doing, and keeping everything squared away. I appreciate it. We got T Star coming at us from Sandusky Bay, Ohio. Very nice. Also, I want to thank all you guys for being here and being part of the chat. If without you guys here, I'm not here. So I do appreciate all you guys being here, showing support for the channel. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, I love doing these chats. Hopefully, we're educating some people. Maybe you're getting reminders that you haven't thought about, whatever the case may be. The biggest thing, I want people to think for themselves. That's my goal. If you're thinking for yourself, then I'm winning. That's the way I look at it. I want you to be free thinking, question everything, do your research. Don't just listen to guys like me on YouTube who are talking. Look it up yourselves. Look for that information. See what's going on. Like I said, again, question everything. And I think that that's really important. Remember, guys, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that one out, we really will be in much, much better shape. We have to stop letting them divide us. They use race, they use religion, they use political affiliation. It's all tools to keep us fighting amongst each other. So we will never focus on the real problems, which is big business and the government. If we came together and said, hey, we're not putting up with this crap anymore, they would have to change it. They would have to change it. But that won't happen as long as we're fighting amongst each other because you're a different color than I am, or you're a different religion than I am, or if you're of a different political party and I hate you. I mean, it's so stupid. It really, really is when you look at it that way. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from achieving those goals is going to be you. That's it, nobody else. If you stay away from negative people that want to try to tell you what you can't do, you're going to be just fine. The key is setting realistic goals that you can meet and then making those things happen. That's the key. If you do that, you're going to be just fine. Like I said, focus on what you can control. That's the key. So, anyway, guys, have a great night, and I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.